Hey everyone, hope all is well. Hey, so I want to I tried to maybe record some information to share with you. As you know, if you're familiar with the channel, one of my favorite shows on investing. I do like Charles Payne, and every morning I just happen to watch Squawk Box. Yeah. So I want to kind of share some information with you. I just want to kind of incorporate different things on the channel. Definitely discuss things that are happening in the community, and it's not all great, but it is to bring awareness. Listen, I didn't know women were murdered this much, but it's true. And every 5.5 hours it's a black woman. So what am I talking about? On the screen here we've got Jamie Dimon. We don't have a black woman on the screen. No, this is for all ladies, okay? Because the crimes against women, they're going to increase regardless of race, some more than others. A lot of dust is out there. Dusty Dan just murked his baby mama, saying it was rough intimate play. Yeah, and guess what? She was like very, very pregnant. I'll be doing a story on that one. So what does it have to tie into? Behavior. Mm-hmm. Behavior. A lot is happening, and some people cannot cope. They can't cope. I don't care how strong and muscular they may be, and they're tall. On the inside, your inner being. Some people are very weak, and things are not going to get better. So, look on the screen. Jamie Dimon, about face. Now, this here was last week. Okay, maybe some news you can use. So I don't have time to, trust me. I wish I could just do videos all day long. I'll do quite a few videos and then put those out. Then that way something may come up, then I don't have time. So I try to get them in when I can. So I wish I was in a position to do daily reporting, but I do have other fiduciary responsibilities that I have to address. I cannot neglect or negate those or responsibilities, okay? Business wise, it's just not possible. So this right here, it was not on today's episode of Squat Box, all right? This wasn't. This was last week. But let's go ahead and get to the meetings in case someone's like, well, hey, I saw this week. Yeah, this is last week. But I wanted to have a discussion with you. It says, last Monday, Jamie Dimon goes, storm clouds may dissipate. Rising rates may be a boost. Very good chance of exceeding targets next year. Oh, he's all smiling. By the way, I kind of wonder, is he going to ride that subway train Mayor Adams mentioned? Yesterday, last week, people, so not literally yesterday. Brace yourself for a hurricane. Quantitative tightening could backfire. Ukraine war impact on commodities. Does it sound like things are going super great? No, we have inflation at a 40-year high. Things are worse with this administration, and everything ain't the Ukraine. That is definitely a part of it. We cannot negate that. But let's be real. I don't believe everything I hear. I believe the research and things that I see. So brace yourself for a hurricane. We all heard about Biden saying 8 million new jobs. Where? And I've heard people say, oh, you always hear a lot of jobs out there. Are those jobs paying a living wage? Are they? It's a lot of jobs out there. Yeah, they got a job. Listen, so what do you do for a living? Oh, you were an accountant. You were an attorney. Oh, you were an admin. Oh, okay. Well, hey, they got some jobs out there. They sure do call delivering that pizza. They got some jobs out there, Family Dollar. And no, they're not hiring too much because they're going toward self-checkout. So all these jobs are the jobs paying a living wage, and most of these jobs are not. And how are you going to tell someone which the dream has become a nightmare? We have to be realistic. Oh, you got your 4-year degree. Well, great. Got a job for you down here, and it's paying, $14 an hour. Now, you still may be evicted because you can't afford your place, but at least you got a job. Doesn't make any sense, oxymoron. So brace yourself for a hurricane. Finance. What is that saying? Romance without finance is a nuisance. Finance is a part of life. And I know some people don't want to hear it. Money is like oxygen. Get without it. See what happens. Not all problems. And money doesn't guarantee happiness. Trust me, I've seen people rich, extremely rich, and not happy. But it is like oxygen. Get without it. You don't have any money, then how will you pay your mortgage or your rent? That's why people become homeless. Not because they're just oozing out of money. Don't have any money? You don't have any money on you. You don't have a debit card or a credit card. You don't have any Bitcoin, Google Pay, Apple Pay, whatever you want to call it. Well, let's say you go in a store and buy some food for yourself and your family. Yeah, if it's not so important. So it is a necessity that's needed to survive. Brace yourself for a hurricane. Now, of course, they're talking about the financial hurricane, talking about the economy. But when you have a bad economy, it is going to dictate behavior. It's going to dictate crime. I'm going to do another video, try and get it done today. A Caucasian male, there was an instance, and I said, well, here's what's happening. And he's like, I want to talk to her and let her know that he's got to go. Who's got to go? Her man. Dusty's got to go. He's not bringing in any income. I'm like, you may want to pump your brakes because that might be a little out of place. We need to come up with a plan for her. Telling Dusty to get out, get a job, be pregnant. That can get a woman killed. So brace yourself for a hurricane. If the economy seems to get worse, crime is already high now. It's already high. If the economy gets worse, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to say, well, gee, I better go get me one of those jobs doing pizza. Some of them are not employable. And you have to understand, some of these Dusties are, especially in the BC, some of them are living as a kept man. Dusty Dan, too. I just saw a show on Intervention. And Dusty Dan sitting up there just doing drugs. He's a dad. Won't see his child. And then the girl complained about him seeing the child. He is taking the child on dope runs to pick up. Are you serious? Yes. Got little Megan sitting up there, 2 years old, while he's running errands to pick up an illegal substance. What if something happens? Then baby mom realizes it's time to go. His mother was like, he's staying in a house for free. Can't even get him to take the trash out. Just wants to do drugs all day. So they put him out, or they realize, hey, you can't stay here free anymore. We got to get a renter in here. You think he's going to go, well, let me go and get this great job. No, he's not. He will go out there more than likely and kill and rob. So this right here, it will affect everyone. Oh, well, I don't invest. It will affect everyone. Things are already bad now. They're saying it's going to get really super bad in 2023. Look how many stores I did yesterday and so many emails. Can't get to them all. Women being murdered. Women being murdered. So with all this going on, the economy is going to get worse. More women are going to be murdered. Ergo, all of them are pretty much single women. More children, orphans. Do you think they're sitting up there with trust funds? Heck no, they didn't, because if they did, most likely they wouldn't be with dust. Money follows money. Now, they may do what they call, air quote, go slumming. What the guy said, rich girls don't marry poor men. Very few do. Very few. So brace yourself for the hurricane. It's coming. What does a hurricane leave? Destruction. Your life all built up. Oh my goodness, a hurricane come through. Boom. Just like that. Hurricane come through, entire houses been wiped off the map. Sometime wiped off, all you see is a foundation, some steps, not a brick left, not a piece of siding left, chimney down on the ground. You don't even have a room left. Start life all over. That's what Dusty do to a lot of women. Sometimes it's game over, your life over. So brace yourself for a hurricane. Then you have, after the hurricane, what do you normally do? They call the insurance company and try to rebuild. Do you really think you're going to rebuild that house in like maybe by next week? No, it's a long process. Where do you go until then? So what I wanted to mention was, it says brace yourself for the hurricane. This that's happening, that's occurring, guess what? And I was talking with someone about this. I, besides my own trading, I do have I do have an advisor as well. I was talking to someone and I was like, you think about it. If a person, things get worse. If a person loses everything, and some people already have, and then you say, okay, you got a job, great. And in your mind, you're thinking, okay, I've got this job. I'm going to save my money, and I'm going to stay here, maybe with family and the children. I'm going to save my money, and then I'm going to go ahead and get me a place and get back on my feet. A lot of people have gone back to work, and they saved their money, and they want a place and can't get one because they got that eviction on there. And no one's taking a chance. As I said before, if you think the mom and pop landlord is something, oh, you're going to see when these hedge funds come with these investors. That's a whole nother animal. A whole nother animal, honey. That animal doesn't play. And that animal doesn't worry about me, ma, and your kids and your family, where you're going to stay. They don't. A lot of people are working and living in their cars. And they saved up the money. Have the money. Willing to pay extra down payment, extra deposit. No one will take them. So I used to think too, you can't have all these people homeless. You just can't. You want to bet? They're more concerned with the Ukraine and with the immigrants. Again, some immigrants sitting up in hotels and Americans sitting up in your car, educated or not, sitting, going to work, and you're coming home inside your vehicle. This is insane. So brace yourself for a hurricane. Oh yeah, because it's hella common. And the idea that you're going to go ahead, oh yeah, just take a little while and it's going to get better for me and I'll get back on my feet. I hate to tell you, it's unrealistic. I had that conversation. And I don't have, I don't have $1 million behind me. I really don't. But I've had the conversation with people who are educated, people that are wealthy. How do you come back from that? Because everybody can't pick up the phone and call family. So when a hurricane happens, you have to rebuild your life. And that's the problem. I'm like, I had this block here and I want their opinion. I'm thinking, so normally you would think in my mind, okay, maybe in a couple of months they can get things together and blah, 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 but the rah, rah, rah. Now when your credit gets shot on an eviction because you got put out, and who's going to be racing? You think about it. Who's going to be racing to be outdoors? Seriously. So how long do you think it's going to take to get life together, to get back on your feet? I ask a few people who are well endowed, who are well aware in finance, how long would it take? Given the scenarios that we have to get back on your feet. And I'm not talking about to get ahead. I'm talking about once you have lost your place, you got evicted, then you find a job and you're staying with somebody or in a homeless shelter in your car, you're saving up all your money. Inflation's not stopping. So the money you saved up, you can even get less. I said, how long do you think it's going to take? I asked a few. Just in a couple of years. Not a couple of months, not 1 year, a couple of years. One person said to me about 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. You're working and saving, but that inflation got you, baby. And then people living in their cars, going to work every day. And you're saying we haven't seen the worst of it. 2023 is going to be worse. We haven't even officially hit the 3rd recession. Where the 40-year highs was being reported. A 40-year high. And they're saying 8.6%. They're saying even that number. Some experts say that number's not even accurate for inflation. It's more like maybe 12 or 13, because for the GDP, they are allegedly purposely eliminating food and gas, knowing that's a big part of it. So even the numbers, you think, well, it's only 8.6%. No, it's not. Look at your life. Look at the money you spend on food and gas, and tell me it's only going up 8.6% and rent. So it's like, it makes me wonder, are they pushing a false narrative, trying to keep the number down? Are you including the food and gas in this? Read the fine print. So brace yourself for a hurricane. So just imagine a lot of people thinking it's going to, oh, it's easy, I'm just going to rebuild my life, and it's not. Not going to happen. It may take years. So with a lot of people being home is facing issues like this, I don't see the relief in sight. With all this happening, you think crime is going to be the same? It's already out of control now. You think it's going to be the same? No, it's going to more than likely escalate. If the mammies can't keep the men up, be it their mammy, baby mammy, meemaw mammy, if they can't keep the men up, do you think those men are going to all of a sudden become productive? So the people that are able to make it and survive, I hate to say it, if it gets any worse than what it is now, it's like you're walking with a target on your back. You have to literally keep your head on a swivel. So yeah, brace yourself for the hurricane. Here it says quantitative tightening could backfire. What is quantitative tightening? So here we have the Google definition. Through quantitative tightening, the Federal Reserve reduces its supply of monetary reserves in order to tighten its balance sheet. And it does so simply by letting the bonds and other securities it has purchased reach maturity. And of course, the bonds affect the stock market. So it reduces its supply of monetary reserve. The money they have on hold reserve, they're going to reduce that to tighten the balance sheet. Quantitative easing pushes interest rates down. This lowers the returns investors and savers can get on the safest investments, such as money market accounts, certificates of deposit, treasuries, and corporate bonds. Investors are forced into relatively riskier investments to find stronger returns. So when he says quantitative tightening could backfire, you're going to try to reserve that money for your balance sheet. Yeah, it could backfire. Because you know what? I'm thinking quantitative easing pushes interest rates down. Look, the interest rates are going to go ahead and pop up, and that's going to affect credit cards, student loans, mortgages, the whole 9 yards. Quantitative tightening could backfire. Yeah, you're going to definitely need to reserve that money, because you know why? People are pulling their money out of the market. Market sell-off was on. There were warnings last year. A lot of hedge funds saying, hey, our retirees pulling the money out. I wish I had a cashed out and go back in. A lot of retirees, I remember hearing that, oh, they're liquidating, pulling their money out of the market. Then they're trying to find some riskier investment. They're like, no. Inflation, I'm not trying to risk my money. I'm pulling my money out. So people pull their money out of the stock market. I already did a video on that, how the stock market, Wall Street affects Main Street. So you think the company's going to be doing great? Look at it this way: you have a family, you got money in your account, and keep pulling all the money out. You're going to go to the store to buy food and decline. Why? The money's not there. Ukraine war impact on commodities. All the shipping issues that we're facing. Africa's going to really be. They're really with Putin over there. Good luck with the wheat. And that's for Europe too as well. I think they said he pooty poo bombed the last bridge. So over there, the people are depending upon the wheat. I think it's 85%. What if you don't get the wheat? What you gonna do? And if he bombs that last bridge, he's trying to, and nothing else can get through in the Ukraine. All I can think of, you're trying to starve those people out. So this war is not going to be over by next week. The Ukraine impact on the commodities is not going to be over by next month. Biden shutting down that pipeline, one of the dumbest things you could do, and now going to foreign countries begging, hey, let's talk. That's like getting rid of your vehicle that you need. Now you want to go over to the neighbors. Hey, let's talk. Can you give me a ride down the street? Well, where's your car? Oh, I got rid of it. So I'm going to depend on you. Not wise. So brace yourself for a hurricane. 40-year high inflation. Brace your stock market is suffering. People are holding on to their cash, and they're, in my opinion, they're not going to be trying to risk it to find a greater return. They're like, oh no. S is about to hit the fan. I'm out. I'm holding my money on the sidelines watching. So those companies are not going to be growing and giving bonuses and doing a whole bunch of hiring and all the jobs. What kind of jobs are they? And that's going to have an effect on all communities, especially the Black community, because we're already at the bottom. We're already at the bottom. And we're not sitting on trust funds. We're not participating in the wealth transfer. Poverty transfer, we got that down. Wealth transfer, not. So if there's a hurricane coming financially, of course it's going to trickle down and adversely affect other people. The communities at the bottom collectively, that's who's really going to catch it. And crime is already crazy now. It's going to go off the chain. Off the chain. If you can reserve any of your resources, I say try and do it. And then the other thing is you have other people working together making money, helping each other out. So that's what I do. That's why I try, like I said, about the art and all that, because I love art, museums, and estate sales. Yo, what are the Dusties doing? Like I'm going to estate sales, or you can go to a garage sale. They can do it too. Lazy. So it is time now, as I said before, it might be a good time to do a RIF, reduction in force. If a person isn't adding anything positive, I don't care if it's your family members, your grown behind kids. Don't let them put you into the poorhouse. Because once you get into the poorhouse, with the way things are going, where they're headed, once you get there, and what I mean by this, I don't mean just poorhouse. I'm talking about where basically your security is threatened. It's at a balance. You could be easy outside in a heartbeat, a few checks away. Once you're in the poorhouse, it's not easy to climb out. Once you've lost your space, your car becomes your home. May be there for a while. It's not as simple as, oh, I'm going to work and save some money and find me a place. A lot of people are finding that out. And if things get worse, well, you can figure that out for yourself. It's a no-brainer. So brace yourself for a hurricane. Brace yourself. This here, it is going to cause crime to increase. So people, be safe, be aware. If you can, reserve your resources for yourself. Well, so-and-so got a problem? Reserve your resources for yourself. Why? Self-preservation is key. And of course, as I always say, stay dust free. I'm out.